Let's talk Starlink. This is the Starlink Mini. This is my go-to for internet access when I'm out on the trails or out overlanding somewhere. It is, for me, an indispensable item. I need to have internet access wherever I'm at. Now, maybe not for everybody. It's, some people just love being off-grid. For me, I can't. I need to be in contact with people. I need to be able to work. I need to be able to check in with either friends that are back at home if Katerina and I are out somewhere, or to check in with Katerina when I'm out by myself. She can make sure that everything's okay. We can talk every day. We can check in, make sure everything's going all right. I can get my maps updated, all the good things that you can do by having a live internet connection. And now powering it, it's not that difficult. And I'm going to do a whole video on all the different ways that I can power this thing and the different ways that I use it. But one situation comes up once in a while that requires a slightly different approach. And that's, we get into a campsite and there's no good place to set up the dish. It needs as good of a clear line of sight to the sky as possible. And if we had to pull in somewhere and I'm just aiming at trees, or it's not going to work. Or if it works, it's going to drop out and things aren't going to work right. And usually we're using it to look at the maps for the next day. What are we going to do? Look at weather conditions, all that stuff. So very often I just need to have this running for a few hours so that we can get all of our updates and make sure that the next day is all planned out. Now, I do have a 25-foot cord. So quite often I can just run that to the vehicle and just get it out somewhere where it needs to be. In other cases, that just doesn't work. That's not long enough. And in lieu of just taking a whole power station out of the vehicle, which is already powering the fridge, that's not a valid solution. So how can we keep the Starlink Mini running away from the vehicle, away from other power sources? Well, I have a solution that has recently come in, and it's sitting in my back pocket. This is the PeakDo battery. Very simple. It's just a battery pack for the Starlink. It pops onto the back, it comes with the cable to plug it in, and it just works. So I'm gonna just put it on the back here, plug in the cable into there, snap it into place, and now I have a self-contained Starlink dish. Now, one downside of this thing is it's not at the right angle. If I put it on the ground, to just lay it on the ground, it's not going to give me the best optimum angle. Often I can just lay it flat and it'll work just fine. But if I really want the maximum speed, then I need to have it at the right angle, which is about 18 degrees, and pointed at about 30 degrees, and everything will work great. So my solution for that is to put it on a tripod. Well, fortunately, on the back, there are 3 quarter 20 mounts on here. So I can just very simply take a tripod mount, screw it into place on here, and then attach it right to the tripod. Pretty darn simple. Now, they do sell a very small little tripod stand for it if you want, or you can use just about anything because it's a standard quarter 20 mount. And there, I'm ready to go. Now, operational, there's not a whole lot to it. You've got a USB port, a USB-C to charge it, and you have a power switch. Pretty basic. Doesn't get much easier than that. We charge it off the USB port, which is also bi-directional, so it can be used to also power your phone or something else. But it's not a huge battery in here. In fact, I'm going to pull my phone out so I can make sure I get the correct specs on this thing. It is 99 watt hours. So given the standard draw of the Starlink Mini dish, you can expect to get around 4 hours of use out of it. So not too shabby. Once I have it charged, I hold down the power button for a little while and the system shuts off, so it's not draining any battery. When I want to activate the Starlink, I just hold it down again, and I will see kind of the rest of the things come up on this interface. It'll tell me what the watt draw is, what the time is on it, a few other little stats. So it's telling me I'm running at 36 watts right now, 36.5 watts, how many amps, about 2 hours of time on it at the moment, because I've been using it today. Pretty darn handy, right? I like it. One of the downsides to it is that it covers the LED light from the Starlink Mini for you to know that it's properly getting power. You know it's getting power, because it'll tell you that it's drawing wattage. Well, if it's not drawing any wattage, it's not connected properly. If it's drawing wattage, then everything's up and running. Give me a few minutes and I'll have connectivity. So not too bad there. In terms of size, you can see it fits within the base of that. It's 4.5 inches deep by 1.06 inches tall and 9.56 inches across here. And it weighs 1.42 pounds. So not too shabby at all. There is some app control to it. I've used it. I'm not even going to show it to you because why? I could monitor it remotely and see what the where the power level is, but I found I've just never needed to use that. Cool thing, one of the favorite things about this, for me anyway, is it is IPX4 rated. So that means it can take direct splashes of water. It should be fine out in the rain, the same as the dish itself. So I could just sit that out there and not worry about it if it starts raining on it or snowing on it. Not that big of a deal. For best results, you do want to make sure that you have your snow melt turned off, because that will draw a ton of power. So make sure that's turned off. If there's snow on it, just wipe it off. Otherwise, it should be good to go. You want to try and do the things that are going to maximize your life expectancy out of it. Another way to kind of cut down on the amount of data that it's using, and which also cuts down on the power needs if it's not having to do a lot of transfer, is in your phone. And this should be available for both Android and iOS, I believe. You can go to the Wi-Fi settings for that connection and turn on, I think it's called low data mode or slow data mode, something like that. And that's just going to keep your phone from doing all the different updates and all the check-ins and everything else. It's going to give you your basic access for doing your mail, for browsing the web, things that you are actively doing, but it kind of stops all the background tasks from eating up power, which in turn draws more power over here. So there's some things you can do to kind of reduce the power consumption of your dish, which makes the battery last longer. Pretty straightforward. Now, what does this thing sell for? It's about 140 bucks. So 139 and change, I believe, about 140 bucks. And there you go. You have a fully remote internet station ready to go. There's no downsides to running it in terms of the dish itself, how it functions, the range and all that stuff. It works as if it's plugged in to anything else. So if you're looking for some type of battery solution for your Starlink, this may be a good one. Now, like I said, this is going to run for about 4 hours. If you need something that's going to run you for 8 hours or 10 hours, this is not the right solution. There are other battery packs for the Starlink Mini that can give you a lot more runtime on them. For me, it's only those rare cases where I just need to get it out away from the vehicle somewhere where the actual power is, so that I can get my updates, my mail, so I can check in, those types of things. And then I don't need to run it any longer and I can just put it all away. But for those times where I just need to have it out remote somewhere, this is a great solution. I'm sure people are going to be, oh, it'd be great for backpacking. Well, I'm not going to backpack a Starlink Mini in somewhere, maybe unless I was intentionally trying to do a live stream in the middle of nowhere. But for me, that's not really the use case for it. For me, the use case is campsites where I don't have a good clear line of sight, but there is one available within the Wi-Fi range, and I can go put that in a position without having to run super long cords. So check them out. I'll put links in the description below if you're interested in it. I don't make any affiliate money on this. This is just something I've been trying out to see if it works for my situation, which it clearly does, and I'm pretty happy with the results. So check it out. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned for a lot of adventures that we have coming up. Be sure and stay safe out there, and we'll see you on the trails.